I'm gonna just go on a rant today about something I genuinely do not understand is not in the game yet, and it could help the game in like many ways. Like the game's been out for 10 years. I know you guys have already read the title. Why are killer bots not in Dead by Daylight? Something I genuinely do not understand. There are many reasons why killer bots would be beneficial to having a Dead by Daylight, and we haven't heard a whisper out of behavior employee lungs about this coming to the game anytime soon. I want to go over a couple points on why this could really help the game and also just serve as something that could be fun in my personal opinion. I mean, I play the game pretty regularly, and I think genuinely this could help not only experienced players but new players in different ways. My point number one is having bots in the game would remove killer DCs, resulting in match cancellation. We've all had it. We've all had that game. Maybe because you ran the killer for 4 gens and they just get pissed off and leave the game and go along with their day. And then what does that leave you with? An unfinished game. It leaves you with a few laughs, of course, which is all. I mean, it's always nice to see the killer DC because you ran them for too long. It'll always be funny. But the thing is sometimes I want to finish the whole game, and having a killer bot come into play and replace the dude that left would definitely help. We already have survivor bots. I mean, seriously, we've had survivor bots for like 4 years now. And it's like 2021, I think May of 2021, we got survivor bots. Not exactly. We got them in a new training mode for the tutorial for newer players, which you could play killer against the bots, or you could survive against the killer bot. So there already shows that they have some kind of implication of killer bots in the game because it's in the tutorial. But yet, 4 years later, we still don't have them in killer DCs and public servers or even custom games for that matter. Now we already have it to where Survivor's DC, the bot just takes over the place. Like, I mean, that's been in the game for a few years, like I said. Now, why don't we have it to where when a killer DCs, we get a bot? I know that Survivor is much easier to code than killer because Survivors have a much simpler task than the killers, which I understand. Like the survivors, you just code the survivor bots to mirror your movements through a loop or do a gen or get an unhook, which honestly they don't even do half the time, because if a survivor bot's coming to unhook you, majority of the time they'll just leave you on the hook if the killer's heartbeat even starts for a millisecond. But I think this would genuinely help the game if the killer DC'd, you would just get a bot and you can finish the game. I don't know if killer bots would be good because I know the trapper bot that's in the tutorial sucks ass and like genuinely can't catch you if you actually just loop him. He will literally leave you in like 30 seconds if you drop 2 pallets on his face, and he'll walk up to you and like miss a swing. He can't even like catch up to you at all. My second point is players would be able to learn how to counter certain killer abilities, which is an obvious one. If a certain player does not know how to counter Wesker's ability, or maybe that's a terrible example because he's a simple killer, but like let's just say a new survivor that doesn't play the game regularly, like Hins or Ots Darva, wants to learn how to play against, I don't know, maybe like the new killer Kursu. You want to learn how to play against the Kursu, and maybe you don't see her in the public games as much as you would think you do. You don't get to play against her, so when you do finally get one, you just don't want to play against her. Which I understand playing against the killer multiple times will help you learn how to play against them, but wouldn't it be good to know beforehand how to play against her until you get your ass kicked a few times before you do? Which I understand this game is a learning experience. You have to put in a lot of hours to actually understand the flaws and the functions of the game. But if you could have just custom games where you could add killer bots and the bot would actually use the power, you could actually learn how to play against it, or maybe even learn strategies to go against it when you finally do, which would be insane. I mean, I genuinely don't know why we don't have this yet. It also could be used to try new builds or strategies overall as Survivor. Like, not even just learning against a new killer's ability, just trying out new builds or just something new in your, if you want to try but you don't have it. Like, let's just say in custom games you have every single perk unlocked. You don't have to pay for any of them. You just have every perk in the game. You have every item in the game. Now, why would you think that's in custom if you weren't able to test it? Now, you can test every killer build you could possibly want in custom games because Survivor bots are there. You can test anything out on killer if you want to, but you can't do that for Survivor. You just have to you just have to buy Steve Harrington to get Babysitter to figure out its ass and to never use it again. Now, why would you want to do that? You know what I mean? If you were able to, like, if you wanted to use finesse life and whatnot, you could try that out for yourself against a killer bot without having to purchase a DLC to unlock it in the first place. My third point is just something that actually irritates me. We already have a killer bot in the tutorial, but I also know that on Dead by Daylight Mobile, there were killer bots. There were bots that played killer in Dead by Daylight Mobile. But we don't have this in the main game, and I know that DBD Mobile is a separate game, but rest in peace because it's gone now. But that's not even it. The 2v8 game mode that everybody knows and plays when it comes out, for the most part, if like a killer DC during it, a bot would take over them in play, and they weren't even bad. Bro, you would have a nurse bot flying around the map at Mach speed, catching survivors. But yet again, we don't have this in custom for whatever reason. This is genuinely something that frustrates me because this is something I've wanted in the game for years. And like, I was tiptoeing leaps of joy when I read the thing about survivor bots becoming a thing. Like, I was genuinely so happy because that's something I've wanted in the game for so long. I remember playing the game when Freddy Krueger came out. I've been playing that game for that long. Now, have I played it that long straight? No, I've taken breaks here and there. But when I stopped playing the game in like 2023, and when I came back several months ago and figured out that we still have yet no news of killer bots coming to the game, it genuinely frustrated me because this is something I've wanted in the game for years and is still yet to even like be looked at or like touched, other than DBD Mobile. Again, separate project, or 2v8, which I guess is a step in the right direction because at least they're implementing killer bots in some way, but still we have yet to see any of them in custom game. And I've heard I know it's not a top priority, which I honestly hope it wouldn't be, because I would rather them fix the game at the state where it's at before they would work on that. Genuinely something, but behavior, they probably won't. There's probably will take another 3 years before they'll even tweet a thing about the idea of adding into the custom games. I haven't seen anybody make videos about this. I haven't seen anybody really talk about this. And when I talk to people about it, they don't even really seem to bat an eye, which is understandable because they play public all the time. They don't care about having a bot. They know how to play every killer. They know how to play the game. They have every perk unlocked, which I get it. But this is not even talking about the mass majority of But this is not even talking about the mass majority of people that play the game on a regular, like me or really anybody else. This is honestly talking about most newer players. Because when you enter this game, there is so much to learn, and you really don't have the opportunity to really learn all of it unless you just frustratingly play the game until you do, which is not fun. And I understand that most games have this, where you have to just play the game to learn it, which is honestly how you should. But wouldn't it be nice if, like, imagine you were a new player and you genuinely don't really understand the game and the tutorial sucks and doesn't even really teach you much of the game's, like, basic fundamental gameplay. Like, I mean, yeah, the tutorial will tell you, oh, you do 5 gens, you open, exit, you leave. It doesn't teach you how to loop. it doesn't really teach you how to do much of anything. So imagine like having a better tutorial, or like I said, adding killer bots so people who want to play Survivor actually can figure out how to play the game against a simple bot. It's just something that has been on my mind for a long time, and I've never until now wanted to make a video upon it. And I genuinely, I've looked up videos to see if anybody's really made videos about it, but nobody really has. So I wanted to be the one to step up and ask why this is not in the game. It needs to be. I don't know why it's not yet. And that's really all I had to say. Let me know your opinions down in the comments below. But that's genuinely just something that bothers me, dude. Like, why is it not in the game? Why? It would help. It genuinely would. I know it doesn't sound good, but like I said, killer DCs, fixed. Learning counterplay for killers for new players, fixed. Like, a lot of things could be better if they just implemented the killer bots. And that's all I really had to say for today. I just wanted to get that out. Something that's been on my mind for a while and deeply frustrates me. Have a good night.